Hello Magic fans, it's Captain Skittles. Today we're doing some Renata upgrades, but first let's thank Brad Brown for subscribing. He brought us to 81 on day 7 of my channel. It's hard to think about the fact that this channel is almost a year old and I lost everything from the first couple months of me doing it, and then I spaced doing stuff for 366 days. But anyway, let's dive into this Renata video. So these are the things that I put into the deck. I took out a couple of things. Let me just show you what I took out. I gotta find them real quick. Felwar Stone is the first one. I took out Felwar Stone. It's completely useless in a monocolored deck, and I replaced it with one of these things. Next, I replaced this guy right here, Oasis Gardener. He's another mana rock, kind of useless in a monocolored deck, so I replaced him with one of these things over here. Then if we come back here to these guys, I replaced Pristine Talisman, another mana rock that's completely useless in a monocolored deck. Hard Bristle Bandit, mana rock for any color, and he can untap if you commit a crime. There's a better mana rock that I can use. Everflowing Chalice. I love Everflowing Chalice. It's a staple in a lot of my decks, but it just wasn't really working for me. Arcane Signet's another useless mana rock, and as I've been playing, monocolored decks they don't need mana rocks as much as they need lands and good things for drawing cards and stuff. And then Bandit's Hall, it's another one that's just not really working. And so let's show you guys what I replaced them with. And hopefully these things will work to my advantage. So obviously, I had some fetch lands. So I had Terramorphic Expanse, and then I had Evolving Wilds. Useless in a monocolored deck. It was pointed out to me a long time ago, and I'm finally getting around to replacing them. So 2 basic lands in replacement of those fetch lands. Next, let's move on to my new mana rocks, and that is these 2 fellers. So I pulled this guy, Sanctum Weaver, a long time ago in a Modern Horizons 2 bundle box, and it's just been sitting around, and now I'm going to actually use it, because a lot of my spells that I'm going to be using to buff my commander here are enchantments, and so I can tap to add X mana of any one color, where X is the number of enchantments I control, and so I can get a couple enchantments onto the battlefield, like, dang, what's the name? Branching Evolution is one of them. Garruk's Uprising is one of them. Roiling Earth is another one. And I can get 3 mana out of it. And so that's a good mana rock that I am replacing. And I think it works better for this deck. It just fits the theme better. And then another one that I think fits the theme better is Fanatic of Ronas. Here, I'll show you Sanctum Weaver up close. So this is Sanctum Weaver, the one that I have at least. And then we have Fanatic of Ronas. I can tap to add 1 green, or I can tap to add 4 green, activate if I control a creature with power 4 or greater. And there's a lot of creatures in this deck that have a lot of power. That's most likely 4 or greater, especially my commander. At the time, I would be using all of this stuff because my devotion might be big enough for that. And so I can tap to add 4 green mana, which is the whole point of my deck, to get mana and cast things that will protect my commander and help me deal commander damage. Next, I will look at these 2 guys. So I pulled this in an Aether Drift pack with my wife. I think my wife pulled this one out of a pack. This one is Web Strike Elite. This one has 2 green mana, which, unlike Fanatic of Ronas and Sanctum Weaver with the 1 colorless, 1 green, this one's 2 green, which means if I cast this and I cast my commander, I have 4 devotion, whereas if I would cast another one of these 2 costs, it would only be 3. And so because my commander is a devotion-based commander, this one was really important for me to add, and so that's the Web Strike Elite. Next, we have Branching Evolution. The reason I added this one is because I have Roiling Earth, and that puts +1/+1 counters. Then I also have Mowu, who puts +1/+1 counters on stuff as well. And so it just seemed like a very fitting thing. I also pulled this from a Modern Horizons 3-pack for pre-release. Another Modern Horizons 3 card is this Fight Spell. No, not Fight Spell. Protection Spell, in my opinion. It's put a +1/+1 counter, a reach counter, and a death touch counter on target creature, and you can untap it. So let's say I am attacking with Renata, and she is... I don't know what the situation would be, but I can untap my commander, and it will keep a very powerful ally on my battlefield without having it tapped out. Then lastly, Revive the Shire. I pulled this with my wife in a Lord of the Rings set. It's a hollow foil version, and I can return target permanent card from my graveyard to my hand, and I create a food token. I'm mainly worried about returning the permanent card from my graveyard to my hand, because I already have a couple of those that return stuff from my graveyard to my library or from my graveyard to my hand in this deck, and that one would just work really good. So these are what I'm adding to my Renata Call to the Hunt deck. When I upload this video, I might have a link to the Scryfall for this deck. I'm gotta go and update the deck list for it. But thank you guys so much for watching. It's my privilege to make these videos for you guys. Once again, remember that I am making custom Magic cards for my subscribers, and I want to make a custom Magic the Gathering set for you guys. So let's hit that 1,000 subscribers milestone, and let's make a Magic the Gathering set together. Let's go. See you in the next one. Peace out.